Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Lesson 11-2, Sales Tax Tips and Commission, which is on page 119 in your Springboard book. 4 definitions here at the beginning, and then we're going to do a couple of examples together. First definition is sales tax, which is a percentage of a sale that is given to our government. A tip is an additional payment given to a server, which is a percentage of the regular bill, usually 15%, which is common. The commission is a fee paid for services. It's a percentage of the total sale or cost of an item. Think about a store where somebody earns a certain percentage of what they sold, or a realtor where they earn a percentage of the house, the sale of the house. Then there is salary, which is and I put it in quotes, guaranteed money on your paycheck. Okay, I'm going on to the next screen for a couple of examples. From page 119, at the very bottom, problem A says a salesperson at a car dealership has a salary of $1,200 per week plus a 2% commission on sales. If a salesperson has a sales of $135,000 in 1 week, what was he paid that week? So I pulled out information already that says his salary was $1,200 a week, what the commission was, and what the sales were. So how I'm going to calculate this, I'm going to have his base salary. That is what he gets paid no matter what. That's that guaranteed payment. Plus the person gets commission if they sell anything, which they did here. Those two things combined in different jobs have different ways of earning money. But this particular position has a salary of $1,200 plus their commission was, here, the commission was 2%. So we need to change our 2%. Change the percent to a decimal by moving your decimal over 2 places, so 0.02. So we need to find 2% of, and it's a commission. The commission here is a percentage of the sales. And he sold, or this person sold $135,000. Calculating those two together, you get $2,700 when you multiply these two numbers together. But then in addition to that, the person still gets paid their base salary. And when you combine those two things together, that's the total paycheck of $3,900 per week is what that person would get paid on their paycheck. That is example A. Moving on to example B. Problem B. 2 businesswomen are having lunch at a restaurant. Their bill came to $47.85, and they want to leave an 18% tip. What is the amount of the tip? So I'm going to show you 2 different ways to calculate this. The first way I'm going to show you is using a decimal. And the second way will be using a proportion. And you can use either method because there are multiple ways you can set this up. But knowing what we've already know, we're going to show you both ways here. So using a decimal, we're looking for 18% of $47.85. So, changing your percent to a decimal, that is 0.85 of means times in 47.85. So if you multiply those two numbers together, your answer is 8.613. And knowing you're talking about money, we are going to be rounding to the nearest penny here. I like using this little stair step, and I'm looking at this 3. And is this 3 going to increase that number right there? No. You know the 5 or more raise the score? Well, this 3 or 5, less than 5, 4 or less, let it rest. This 3 is just going to let that 1 rest. So it's $8.61 for the 18% tip. And all we did was we took this decimal, 0.18 times 47.85 to get this final answer here. Okay, so there's one method. The other method is using the percent proportion, which we've already talked about, where you put percent over 100 equals part over whole. Okay, so looking at our numbers here, I've got my percent is 18%, so I'm going to put 18 over 100 because percent means out of 100. And I want to know what is the part, I'm going to put T for tip, I want to know what is 18% out of, this right here is my total. That's my total or whole. Okay, so that is 47.85. And what I need to do next is multiply these two numbers together. So I would have 18 times 47.85. And then on the other side, on the other diagonal, I would have 100t. Divide by 100. Divide by 100 to isolate t. And again, I would get 8.613 when I do that calculation, and then I'm right back to where I was previously as far as the rounding, and the 3 doesn't change that, and I'm right back to my original answer. So there are a couple of different ways there that you can either change your percent to a decimal and calculate, or you can change your percent to a fraction and you can calculate using a proportion. That concludes today's lesson about sales tax tips and commission, where the learning target was to solve problems about sales tax tips and commission. Thank you and have a great day.